Hi everyone, it's great to see you. Today I'm going to be planting up a spring planter that is wonderful if you are one of those people who tends to miss a day of watering your planters here and there. So these are going to be beautiful annuals that bring you lots of color and lots of flowers, but tend to be drought resistant. You're still going to need to give them the attention they need, but basically they're going to do okay on their own with very little of your attention, which can be really, really great at certain times of your life as a gardener. So I'm going to begin with a 14-inch pot here. This is a nice resin pot, very lightweight. It is from Crescent Gardens. I'll link it below. I love it that it looks like it is the weathered concrete in color, but I don't have to worry about this being really heavy to move. It also has drainage holes already in the bottom, ready to go. Whatever planter you're using, make sure that you have good drainage all set. Dump out anything else in the bottom. And I tend not to put anything else in the bottom. A 14-inch pot isn't that big, so giving your annuals enough space to really root down deeply in this pot will be important. And you're going to use whatever potting mix you usually use. So not ground soil, you're not digging up from your garden soil and putting it in here. You want something that's going to hold and release the water and be on the lighter side as that growing medium. Some people add vermiculite or something else that is nice and light to their soil. That's fine too, but a nice potting mix works well. So this is the Miracle-Gro potting mix. There we go. And I'm going to begin, notice I don't fill it all the way to the top here. I'm just going to leave space because I'm adding a lot of plants in here. I like to really pack in my annuals for that initial beautiful look. What can I say? I'm very impatient. Later in the season, I might even remove one or two of these if I feel like it gets to be too crowded, but I'd rather do that than have it look sparse. So we're going to start with our main focal piece in the middle here. And right now, this doesn't look too impressive, but this plant is going to be fabulous. You see the buds that are already here. This is a Rockin Fuschia Salvia. So Proven Winners has a few lines of different salvia plants. They have the Rockin series. Fuchsia is the most pink of those, and it will bloom a very, very bright fuchsia color. Just gorgeous. They have a deep purple, and they have sort of a blue purple in this series. All gorgeous. They get to be 2 to 3 feet tall by about 2 feet wide. I mean, this is going to definitely make an impact. And the great thing with these are you do not have to deadhead them at all. You put them in your planter, you give them water here and there, and they take off. So right now, what you see here are the calyx of the plant. They're like little special flower petal holders that are now going to open and let out the beautiful fuchsia flowers, and they stay like this little cup holding on to the flowers. After the flowers bloom, the flowers fall off, and this calyx part is still here. And it almost looks like a blossom in and of itself. And that's why you don't have to deadhead here. You're going to have something beautiful left on your plant even once that flower has passed. Now this is a sterile plant, so it doesn't set seeds here, which means it keeps blooming and keeps blooming and keeps blooming throughout the season. So all the way up until your frost, you are going to have this gorgeous centerpiece. Now, Proven Winners has some other salvias they have the Unplugged series. Last year I grew both. I have to say the Unplugged series did well, but I found for myself the Rockin series just was spectacular, and I saw a ton of hummingbirds going to this plant. So I'm thrilled to have this as a centerpiece here too, because I know that as it sends out those really bright colored flowers, my hummingbirds are going to be very, very happy. So this is going to go in the center, and I know that as it gets bigger, it is going to be gorgeous. So this plant is going to just create a gorgeous centerpiece for us, and I know that it is going to draw in a ton of pollinators. Now this has some roots that are wrapped around the bottom. I'm just going to take my fingers and break those up a little bit, but you don't have to do much. It's still pretty early in the season, so hopefully they're not too potted in. Okay, that looks great. Oh, now, because this one isn't doing much yet, I'm actually going to put a second thriller in the center here. And this is Bright Light's purple. This is a Osteospermum, which is also known as an African daisy. They come in a lot of different colors, and their favorite time of season is early in the spring like now, and then they come back again in the fall. So while this baby here is growing up and looking beautiful, this particular plant can take center stage for a short time. Then it will sort of stop blooming, and you'll just have the foliage there while my Rockin Fuschia takes over. And then come fall, it's going to send up some more blossoms. So look at how they just sort of partner together so that I can see some beautiful flowers right away. That's really how I like to do my planters. So those are just going to be married together here in the middle. And now I want some beautiful things to spill over the edges. So I have here the SUPERBELLS Double Smitten Pink. So just like my Salvia is pretty good, it likes hot weather, it likes to sort of have the soil with good drainage. This one also really likes good drainage. I have these beautiful flowers that pick up the same color scheme here, but I don't have to worry about deadheading them. And you want to water these and then let them dry out a bit. Water them, let them dry out a bit. So great for someone like me who tends to have a busy schedule, who might not get to water them every single day. And you would think that I'd have everything set up on drip. I know that those people who do love it, but I don't for my planters. I still pull out the hose, and I love doing that. It sort of lets me visit with my flowers, but every once in a while, there's a day where it's a little crazy. I have 2 of these Calibrachoa here. They're pretty damp at the moment because we've had a lot of rain, but that is okay. I'm going to sort of try to place them a little apart from each other. Look at that though, already spilling over and looking so pretty, but I think I can stuff more flowers into this planter. And the last thing that I am going to add here, take a look at this. Is that not a beautiful lime color? And it has this fuzzy texture to it too. This is a licorice plant. Now, a lot of your licorice plants that you see are more of a blue-green color. Some are even, they say they're white. They kind of have a silvery look. But this one is called limelight. It doesn't get a flower on it. You really grow this for the foliage. And it's going to extend 12, I've seen mine get up to 18 inches and sort of hang over the edge of your planter too. And it just adds that little bit of brightness and that contrast in texture that I love. Oh, I'm running out of space in my planter here, but I'm going to put one right in the center. Okay, look at that. Love that. I'm going to put one on this side too. So when you're out at a nursery or shopping at a big box store, take a look and see if they have some different types of this licorice plant, because they really are beautiful. Okay, I'm going to try to brush off the dirt here and just tip this a bit so you can see. Doesn't that just look gorgeous? Oh my goodness. I love how we've used sort of this color palette here of these beautiful pinks to purple. We've highlighted it with some of this bright foliage. This is going to grow in beautifully. Oh my goodness, I just can't wait to see it. I already love it. So when you're thinking of planting up your planters, do consider what type of environment those plants do best in. Even my licorice plant here is considered a drought-tolerant plant. So am I giving up watering them? No, but I do love to know that this planter is going to go in a spot that it's okay if maybe I'm watering it every other day instead of every day. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.